Hello and welcome to Galaxy News. You're watching News in 5 and I am Vuyo. These are your headlines. Ramaphosa says South Africa needs to fight patriarchy and sexism. Nigeria launches its first sexual offenders list. The South African Human Rights Commission rubbishes report saying they do not have enough evidence to prosecute Itzembeth. And Generation The Legacy and SABC shake hands on new deal, and we bring you sports as we wrap it up. The South African President Cyril Ramaphosa said that it was a shame that people are meant to protect women are actually the ones that fall victim on a daily basis too. Ramaphosa, speaking at the launch of the 16 Days of Activism Against a Gender-Based Violence campaign in Lephalale, in Limpopo on Monday, said patriarchy and sexism roots, which are at the core of the problem, need to be looked into. Now, the African National Congress had also expressed the major concern over how shameful the crisis of violence is in the country, saying that people have been gripped with violence as a result of losing their core African values. Now, the crisis of the violence against women and children is a great shame, said Ramaphosa, and I quote. Now, this year's campaign is aimed at raising awareness against the scourge of gender-based violence and raise more awareness around women and children's rights in relation to the attitudes of men and boys. The president also emphasized the government's commitment in fighting the scourge. And in a similar move, Nigeria launches its first national sexual offenders register on Monday, which is a database of convicted sexual offenders in what is a pivotal step in fighting the scourge of violence and abuse on women and children. The sexual offender registry, which contains the names of those prosecuted for sexual violence in Africa's most populous nation since 2015. The record will be available online to better help the public, state bodies and police conduct a background checks and identify repeat offenders. Also, the South African Human Rights Commission has dismissed accusations of not having evidence to tackle the case against Springboks rugby star Eben Etzembeth. Etzembeth is accused of racially and physically abusing 4 men during an altercation in Langebaan, Western Cape, days prior to jetting off to Japan to compete in the Rugby World Cup. In a statement on Monday, the Commission's Bongani Majola said that the weekend reports that claimed they were not ready to prosecute, citing an alleged lack of concrete evidence, was totally untrue. On Sunday, a Rapport newspaper reported that Etzembeth wrote to court to have the Commission's decision to refer the racism charge against him to the Equality Court reviews because he believes their grounds on the racial charge are baseless. The Commission said it is waiting for the court review to be set aside before they can take on Etzembeth. And for some of the sad or also not so sad news, the Generations Legacy was reportedly renewed for the 2 more seasons amidst rumors of breakdown in talks, which led to SABC saying it will air previous iconic episodes after being on a month-long break. SABC said it settled its dispute and reached common grounds to maintain its spot as one of the most loyally loved shows for close to 3 decades. The show, with 8.5 million viewers to this day, is the second most watched soapy and will have been a great disappointment to its million of viewers had it been scrapped. And in sports, Russia's hosting of games at Euro 2020 could be under threat after a World Anti-Doping Agency committee recommended that the European nation should be banned from hosting sports events for 4 years. Russia could also be banned from next year's Tokyo Olympics, having also been excluded from the 2018 Winter Games and some other major competitions. Now, the Doping Agency Committee Compliance Review Committee recommended a raft of measures after declaring the Russian anti-doping agency a non-compliant over inconsistencies in anti-doping data. And for more of these news, go to our website and also go to our social media platforms and comment and communicate with us. And also let us know, what do you think of Generations taking a break? Does this mean, remember the last time they took a break and then it came back as this Generations and a lot of people were not happy. Other than that, it's not my business. Let us know what do you think so that we know your views. From myself and the News in 5 team, we'll see you guys tomorrow.